Y'all look at me. That fucking wind is disrespectful today. Shit. What's up, everybody? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog. So let's get to it. Alright, you guys, first up, let's talk about Brian Williams. You guys know who Brian Williams is. He is the HNIC over at NBC in their newsroom. Brian Williams was caught in a little bit of a, we'll just say a little bit of a tale. Brian Williams was on David Letterman, and he was recounting stories of his career, as many people do when they go on the talk shows, you know, the late night talk shows. He recounted a story of when he was, you know, doing his journalistic work on the 2003 Iraq War. And when he was talking to David Letterman, you know, it was very much in passing, but he had said that he had been in a convoy of helicopters that was attacked, that he himself had been shot at and shot down. And, you know, he made quite a bit of a, like, oh, it's really nothing, you know, because that's part of the job. That was kind of his attitude. But, you know, David Letterman was very impressed, as were many others. Okay, when we look at our journalists and our news reporters, we often admire the fact that they do put their lives on the line, sometimes for the story. Shortly after that, one of the gentlemen who also was on that convoy either tweeted or he commented somewhere that was like, I don't really seem to remember you on my helicopter that was shot down. Okay, so now there was a discrepancy. Okay, Brian Williams, was he shot down on the helicopter? So, you know, it started to pick up steam. People started to say that he was lying, that he really wasn't on this helicopter. Brian Williams finally came out and said that he was sorry, that he had misremembered, and that he was on this convoy. However, the helicopter that he was on was not shot down, and he made it back safely with no problem. So yeah, a little bit of a problem here, Brian. Okay, I don't know about you, but, you know, we can't mistake us, you know, landing safely and walking onto the tarmac. Okay, we cannot really compare that to being on a helicopter that was shot down and our lives was in grave danger. Okay, so yeah, people have a problem with that. You know, you've got people in the military who definitely put their lives on the line every day, especially those who are at the front line, those who are, you know, at war. They don't get much recognition for the things that they already do. And you've got this news reporter who we all look at and cherish and, you know, kind of already highly praise them because they're supposed to be giving us the story. It pisses military personnel, both active and, you know, veterans, off that somebody is really trying to take their shine. Okay, so, you know, we was looking at Brian like, yeah, okay, you's a lying motherfucker. Now, all kind of stories is coming out about Brian Williams, okay? They also have this story that's come out about him. He also covered the Katrina hurricane down in New Orleans. He said that when he was staying in his hotel in the French Quarters that he saw a body float by. You know, they're like, the French Quarter really didn't get that much water. Okay, because we all know that the water went to the, what is it, the 9th ward or the 5th ward? I don't know the wards out there, so I apologize, but you guys understand what I'm saying. The French Quarters, which is generally known as the, what I understand as the white areas of New Orleans, okay, the more affluent areas of New Orleans, that area didn't really get hit hard. Okay, so now he's talking about seeing some damn body. Not only that, he said he also got dysentery. I hope I'm saying that right. And that's when you have like inflamed, your intestines are inflamed and you get like bloody diarrhea and shit. It's from drinking like infected water. You get like parasites and virus bacteria and things like that. So yeah, you know, now it's funny that story is just now coming out that he said that, because that was easily, you know, checkable at that time. But I think it was just so much shit going on anyway that maybe it just kind of flew under the radar. But, you know, motherfuckers is talking about getting shot down in planes and seeing dead bodies, you know, when it's only 2 inches of water. And Then it's another story about him saying back in the 70s, money was tight, but he was a Christmas tree salesperson. So he had his trees on a lot and he had all his money in his pocket. He said that somebody came up to him and stuck a gun in his face and robbed him of all his Christmas tree money, y'all. Okay, at Christmas time. Okay, and that's when he realized that he needed to make some changes in his life. Well, of course, now the people of his hometown says, motherfucker, you is lying, because this town is almost like fucking Mayberry, okay? Don't nobody rob nobody. Everybody know everybody. This is the safest town in America, okay? So, I just think that Brian Williams is one of those unnecessary liars. You know how you got with them friends that fucking lie every time you turn around, okay? It'd be some shit that you ain't even got to lie about. I bet you his friends and family been knowing this motherfucker a liar, okay? They probably hate going to the goddamn family, the family get-togethers. They be like, shit, here come this motherfucker Brian, okay? He probably sit down and he be having all kind of stories for everybody. You be like, I know, you jumped off to the 5th story building and you landed on your feet right and you didn't break anything. So I'm just like, he's one of these type of people, and it's too bad because these things that he lied about was unnecessary. Why are you lying about shit like that? This is shit that happened a long time ago and you trying to, get the credit for it. And yeah, no. Okay, so the big problem with all of this being an unnecessary liar is what the fuck else is he lying about? Okay, and he is the news director for NBC. So now we've got to start looking back at all the stories that Brian done reported on and see if the nigga done put 20 on 10. So NBC, of course, they could not let this go unchecked, okay? You just cannot have, this is their credibility at stake. People watch the news, and of course we know the news and the media is sensationalized, and, they capitalize on, a lot of negativity, and they blow shit up, and they scare people, and, we know all of that, but we can't have a motherfucker just willy-nilly just making up shit just because he feel like it, okay? He just sit down at the desk and be like, well, let me tell y'all a story today. NBC, they have decided to let him go. Well, what they did is they suspended him for 6 months. He makes $10 million a year, so that's $5 million off Brum Man's paycheck. Okay, even though when you make that kind of money, you already know he has a lot of money, so he's going to be okay. But of course, this is now tarnishing his name. I don't think they're going to let him come back. I really don't think that they're going to let him come back. I don't think that he's going to want to come back, okay, with all of the attention that this story has gotten. But yeah, I'm just like, Brian, nigga, if you don't sit your motherfucking ass down somewhere and quit lying. Lying Brian, that's what we gonna call him from now on. Also, since we're talking about news people leaving television shows, let's talk about Jon Stewart, who is leaving The Daily Show after being on that show for 16 years. I think they said over 16 years. I think he started in 1999. So 16 years he's been there. He has turned that show into almost a political, people actually believe and go to him. Maybe the younger generation, maybe the more liberal crowd, but definitely he has made a name for himself in the political arena of, television. It's funny that he's on Comedy Central, but yeah, he did quite a bit for that show and for that channel. And yeah, he's decided he's throwing in the towel, you guys. He said that he hears that his family are real sweet people and he wants to get to know them better. Yeah, they say that he works 12-hour days from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and he has missed quite a bit of time with his family. His kids are now like 10 years old and 8 years old, and it's time for him to start going to basketball games and football games and school concerts and things like that. And he's been on that show for 16 years. Jon Stewart has made good money for himself. I'm sure he can take the break right now. He hasn't really said what he's going to do. And you don't never really know what to believe when people say that they're just going to leave and they got some things in their mind, but you kind of be feeling like they're going to just go to another show. But shit, Chelsea Handler, she was like, I'm through when she left her show, and she, she's doing whatever she's doing, traveling and all the other things. So Yeah, I mean, I think he deserves it. It's going to be sad that he leaves that show because I actually enjoyed him on The Daily Show. So good for him, honey. Get you some rest. Okay, spend some time with your family, because you know a lot of times when they start talking about how they need to spend time with their family, that usually is code word for some, it might be some shit going down in the family. Okay, the wife was like, nigga, you gonna bring your goddamn ass home sometimes. Okay, I'm tired of these kids, is hard, I need some help. So, you know, whatever the case is, we wish him luck, but it'd be sad to see him go though, right? Alright, you guys, next let's talk about Toya Wright and her interview with Nicole Bitchie about her crumbling marriage to Memphitz. I read the article yesterday and it was a very, very sad interview. And it just kind of brings a little bit more insight, things that, you know, many of us already know, but I think that a lot of people, when they just strictly deal with social media, they don't really realize the impact that they have on people's lives. If you open yourself up to the devil of social media, then the devil will attack you. So, she's talking about Memphitz and how, you know, when they got together, he was this really wonderful person. They were newlyweds, but he was having this drama with K. Michelle. You know, she kept on saying on the show that he beat her ass, That took a toll on him. And I 100% believe that that did take a toll on him. Whether or not you're guilty or not, we all have our opinions about what happened with Memphitz and K. Michelle. None of us 100% knows what the real deal is. I know we all have our beliefs. I'm not here to argue that. But what I am here to say is that I know that all of the fallout from that whole K. Michelle thing broke that guy, okay? Broke him, made him feel lesser than, okay? Like she said, it was harder for him to start getting jobs. He started being blackballed, and he just couldn't deal with it, basically. She was trying to be there for him, but she had her ways. He wanted to be on Love and Hip Hop. Evidently, he was going to be on the show, and that was going to allow him to defend himself against K. Michelle. She didn't want to do it because they were newlyweds, and she felt like being on a reality show like Love and Hip Hop, which does not really represent what she was about, she just felt like it was going to be, you know, bad for their marriage. Well, the fact that he wasn't able to go onto the show, you know, K. Michelle used that platform to really, you know, tell everybody exactly what happened 150,000 times. He resented her for that. I mean, you guys, the interview is so extensive. She talks about so many things, how they've really been going to like a psychotherapist, and you know, he has a lot of issues, okay? And it sounds like there's some resentment issues there, which I know is hard to overcome. And then when you talk about a man who's got this ego and he's living in the shadows of everybody, because he's living in the shadow of Lil Wayne, because he married Lil Wayne's ex-wife. However, he doesn't have the money that Lil Wayne has. He's living in the shadow of K. Michelle because K. Michelle has branded him as a woman beater. He's living in the shadow of Toya because Toya is the ex-wife of Lil Wayne, okay? Not only that, but Toya had her own before him. She was the more known name. I don't know if she had more money than him or not, but you know, he had his own thing going on. He was an executive at some music label. I don't really remember where he was, but yeah, he kind of just went downhill, and he's not able to handle it. So now it kind of feels like he's having a nervous breakdown. They've separated, but she wants to work on their marriage. He's living in Los Angeles, and you know, now he just kind of posts whatever. I mean, you know, we already talked about him posting being naked with the cowboy hat, and that was it. Now he's posting, you know, new hobbies, and it's him laying on the bed, and it's a whole bunch of women that just have on like little corseted, you know, lingerie type things on, laying all over him. Just now before I left, S had then tagged me on Instagram. He posted that the loco drove him cocoa, and it's a picture of Toya, and then it's a picture of K. Michelle, and then it's him in the middle. So, you know, I don't know. It's sad when you watch it, because LaToya seems to be really in his corner, really wanting him to do well, and really wanting to work on this marriage. And it just seems like, honey, he is so far away from that, and just acting out, and just, you know, cutting up on social media. So I don't know. It's sad though. it's sad. I don't think that she's blaming K. Michelle, because that's what everybody is saying. She even says in the interview, I wasn't there. I can only go by what I think of my husband, what I know from, you know, what he's told me, what the court paperwork has told me, what other girlfriends of his has told me. But you know, she's like, but that's neither here nor there. But I think that the bigger problem is that all of the spotlight of K. Michelle putting that, you know, putting the fact that he beat her up. And it's sad to see a marriage fall apart. It's sad to see a man that's broken. That's the worst, is seeing a man that's broken. And it seems like something is really wrong with him. I don't know if he needs medication or what. But did you guys read the article? Tell me what you guys thought about it. Did it bring any more light to the situation? Because I didn't necessarily know that they were going to be on the show, that they had been offered to go on the show. So that was something that I learned new. But like I said, you guys tell me what you thought about the interview. Did you feel sorry for them? Jackie Robinson West Little League team up in Chicago, south side of Chicago. You guys remember they made a big name for themselves as they were the regional champions, and then they went on to win the national championship, and then they went on to the World Series, but they didn't win there. It was a black team that had made it that far, and everybody celebrated them, and you guys remember the story. The team has now been stripped of all of their titles, and it's because they're saying that the team illegally manipulated the district so that they could bring kids from other areas that didn't necessarily live in the area of what was routed for the team. They brought other kids in, they stacked their team, basically had the best of the best on that team, and you know, they're saying that they basically stole the championship. Now, there's been all kind of fallout from it. Not only were they stripped of all their titles, but the team manager was suspended and the team administrator was relieved of their duties. And they're saying that the whole investigation was started by another team's vice president. You know, they went in and they started checking people's car registrations and trying to match it up with where they lived and all kind of things. So it was this whole big elaborate investigation. And all I can say is, now there's two things that I feel about this. First of all, I'm gonna just tell you how I know it can. My son was on plenty of teams. He played every single sport known to mankind. The shit is very competitive, okay? These people mean business when they got on these teams, and they want their teams and their kids' teams to win, okay? So it's always been a little bit of talk about, you know, you watching a game and you see some kids and you got motherfuckers is real big, you know, we all start commenting that they must be older than they are, or, you know, you start thinking about whether or not these kids are even from that area. You know, all of this always happens. It's normal. So what we already know is there was some hating ass somebody out there that was, you know, had a problem with the fact that this team won, and, you know, was like, I'm gonna check out and see what the hell happened there. You know, all that being said, look, I can't get mad at the people for getting their titles pulled when you doing shit illegally. Now we can cry racism and we can do all of that quiet as it's kept. I think it might be some other black folks sometimes that might have said something, but when you on a team like this, and it's so much attention on this team, and it's this black team, and it's coming from the south side of Chicago. Okay, you already know you under the microscope. You can't do shit illegally. You cannot bring kids from somewhere else and put them on your team and not expect anybody to try to find out exactly what's what here. They got caught, because a lot of times people just don't get caught, but a lot of times they do. When it's at this type of level, when it's this big, okay, you have to have your shit together. You got to have them T's crossed and them I's dotted. You cannot give people a reason to think anything wrong with your team, because if they see something wrong, they're gonna pounce on it. It's too bad that these kids have now, you know, kind of have to suffer this, because the kids are kids. They want to play. Okay, the parents know what they did. The coaches know what they did. The administrators know what they did. Now the kids have to suffer the fallout. So the kids are now being blamed, and, you know, they're being compared to Barry Bonds, and, you know, talking about how, you know, Barry Bonds took all these drugs, you know, drug enhancers and things like, I mean, strength enhancers or whatever they call them for the in the you know, in the athletic world. And it's not fair to the kids. And I know that we can even take it as far as to say that, you know, it was Chicago, and we know that the president was from Chicago, and he's a black man, and this is a black team. All of that we can say, but I'm just trying to tell you, you cannot give them any reason to want to pull shit away from you. Because if it's something there for them to take, they will do it. Okay, so I feel sorry for all of them, but you know, that's you got to follow the rules. So sad. Those kids work so hard and just it's all for nothing now. So tired of talking about the Kardashians. I might have to damn retire them again, y'all. And I always got to bring them back and take them away. Kim Kardashian did a spread for Love magazine. I just realized that the damn magazine ain't coming out till September 15th. So why the fuck is we talking about it in February? They done already released some of the pictures. Of course, y'all had no damn clothes on. Y'all saw the picture of her laying on the mattress with no sheets on it, and she's laying on her stomach with her butt up in the air, and her butt is just like huge. That's how you know the shit ain't real, because her butt, you know, when you lay, now I got a nice size ass, I think, and when I lay on my stomach, that shit don't still stay up like no fucking mountain. But I was just all grossed out that the damn bed didn't have no sheets on it. I'm sorry. When I see a bed with no sheets, I just be like, ooh. In the interview, she is a little bit more open than she normally is. In this one, she was quite animated. Yeah, I'm gonna give you a couple of little I'm gonna give you a couple of excerpts from it. Okay, she says that she likes to have sex from the back. Okay, and that when it comes to dicks, there is never one that's too big. I was just like, honey, speak for your fucking self. Ain't no nigga gonna be tearing up my puss, okay, just because they shit is real big. Okay, nigga, keep that shit to yourself. I don't want no shit that's gonna be fucking my stomach up and I can't even eat the next day or walk or nothing. Nah, bitch too old for all that shit. You know, all that jumping up and down on me shit. That big ass dick. Okay, we talk about Ray J's dick, and I was just like, that old lopsided. That thing was so strange. Look, it looks like a fucking sausage. Didn't it? It would look like when you have a sock and you put a whole bunch of tennis balls in it, and then you move the balls around, so it'd be like bigger up here and then thinner down here and then bigger. I was like, where did he get this old mouth fucking form? Speaking of sex and how she likes it, she says that she did not launch her career off of that sex tape. She said that sex tape didn't, it wasn't what made her. Look, now I know that we be young and we do shit. You know, we've all got things that we not proud of, but you know, we can't just act like the shit didn't happen. She's like, it was 12 or 13 years ago. Yeah, it was 12 or 13 years ago, but it still happened. I'm not saying you need to harp on it, but you need to say what's what, bitch. The reason why your family has gotten to the point that they are is because of that sex tape. Now, do I think that the sex tape is what has maintained them? Definitely not. Okay, now the Kardashians is an empire. They have a beauty line. They have a clothing line. They have a shoe line. They have everything. Okay, but they didn't have none of this, and none of us would have cared to have known anything about any of this before the sex tape. The sex tape is what made that Kardashian name what it was. Yes, I know her father was the lawyer that was on the O.J. Simpson trial, but I think that the father was really kind of ashamed about even being involved in that trial. Not taken away from Kim Kardashian, her mother is a business genius. She has a great team. They've been able to turn this much of millions into this much of millions. But yeah, don't go sit up here and talk about it. That ain't what made your career, because it is. It is what started it. Okay, we didn't give a fuck about no Kim Kardashian before then. The only thing I knew about Kim Kardashian before all of that happened was that I remembered hearing her name on the Brandy's show because Sonia Norwood was in the middle of suing her for using her credit card. They were saying that Kim Kardashian had stole from them, that she was working as their stylist, and she had charged some shit illegally or, you know, unapproved on the credit card. So that was the only name, that's the only way I knew who Kim Kardashian was originally. We didn't know who Kris Jenner was at all. We knew who Bruce Jenner was, and we knew the Kardashian name, like I said, because Dad was a lawyer. But other than that, no, I'm just like, no, Kim. Okay, I rise with Kim. I like Kim. I think she's a beautiful woman and everything. Not really the smartest. And that really was a statement that I was just like, how she even fix her mouth to say that? She says she always gets annoyed with people when they say, what does she do? And, you know, I think that that's a dumb question because, you know, at this point, I mean, what doesn't the damn Kardashians do? They do everything. They're everywhere. Okay, so it's a dumb question, but I think people like to keep on saying that because they just know her as a reality star, and you know, people just don't have any respect for reality stars, reality shows. But the reality is, reality shows is taking over television. Now they're trying to bring the scripted back, but there's definitely money in reality shows. So she said that in her interview, you know, when people ask her that, she just says under her breath, like, ask my fucking bank account, what do I do? Which is a real good comeback, but she was like, I would never say that to anybody. I was like, bitch, I know you won't, because I'm sure she can't fight. Okay, she just looked like the type, and plus, you know, all that plastic and shit she got going on. Girl, don't fuck up your body trying to be smart with somebody. So you guys tell me what you thought about the excerpts from the interview. Like I said, the damn big, I think it's like a 30-page spread that's going to be in this magazine, Love Magazine. It doesn't come out till September, so I don't even really know why we talking about it now. All I do know is I'm tired of seeing Kim Kardashian naked. Fuck. Okay, we already know you got a nice body and all that. Put some fucking clothes on. That's all I gotta say about that. Oh, my cousin is texting me and telling me she got her eyelashes taken off. You know, we got these eyelash extensions. And we've been trying to, I keep on saying, y'all, the money that I spend on these fucking eyelashes is, it don't even make no fucking sense. I can't even fix my mouth to tell you guys how much I spent on these lashes last year. Okay, so my cousin decided to get hers taken off, and she said now she's looking bald about the eyelid. She's regretting taking them off, and now I know I'm not taking mine off. Y'all, I just love these lashes. Oh my god, they are just, anyway. Let's do some little follow-up stories. First, on Suge Knight, it looks like Suge Knight is now using the defense that the reason why he was, you know, that he rushed out of there and, you know, hit Terry in the process is because Terry actually set him up, made him go down there, and when he got there, he was ambushed by the other gentleman that I told you guys about that also got hit, among some other people. They say that he, you know, that they pulled guns on him and he feared for his life. He jumped in the car. Is some discrepancy saying that Terry was trying to either get in the car, also he jumped in the way, and that's how he got hit. So now they're saying, you know, if they can get their hands on the surveillance cameras in the area, that might be the defense that, you know, kind of lets Suge Knight off the hook. You got people dead and people injured and something. Seems like he should be in trouble for some of that. Okay, I know that the other day he was also going to court for the shit that happened with Cat Williams when him and Cat Williams went and took some cell phone or some shit from some lady in the goddamn alley. Talking about the lady was taking a picture of some kid. I don't know, you guys. Anything with Cat Williams, and you know, I like to talk about Cat Williams because I know he has a mental disability. Cat Williams was just performing out here in Atlanta over the weekend, honey. He was there Saturday. They had been promoted this concert heavily on the radio. Every time you got on the radio, you heard them talking about this concert and buying tickets and all that. Honey, he got up in there on Saturday and they say he performed for 30 minutes. He got his ass up off that stage, said that he was sick. Something about him getting a snake bite, and then didn't even show up on Sunday. So yeah, y'all gonna get enough of buying tickets to see Cat Williams, okay? I want to see Cat make it too. I enjoyed his stand-up thing that he did on HBO. I'm all for a comeback, but I don't know, y'all. I don't know. It's just, I think that he has these medical issues, and maybe it's time for us to just concentrate on being healthy mentally, right? Okay, but how did I get on Cat Williams? Because I was talking about Suge Knight, right? Yeah, so Suge Knight went to court about that, and I almost feel like they're gonna O.J. Simpson Suge Knight, okay? They're gonna end up putting him in jail for the maximum amount for some bullshit, okay? Because of all the things that he's gotten away with from, you know, from the past. Definitely this killing the guy is not no bullshit. I mean, I feel like if you kill somebody, you know, you have to pay for it in some kind of way. Shit ain't looking too good for your boy Suge. We'll see if they use that defense. From what I hear, he probably gonna be safer being in jail than being back out on the streets, because I think some people got, you know, their eye on Suge. Bobby Christina. So there was all this big rumor yesterday that they were going to remove Bobby Christina from the, you know, from life support, you know, and it was the same day that Whitney Houston had died. 2-3 years ago. And I didn't believe that. I did not believe that that's what they were going to do. And then the family came out and said that, that was a rumor, that they were not removing her from the life support. Look, I think by this time, at this point, we all know that there is something gravely wrong with Bobbi Kristina. I don't know if she's still in a coma. I don't know if it's still an induced coma. I don't really know what's going on, and none of us really do because they haven't come out and said it. However, they keep on talking about a miracle needs to happen. I'm just assuming, just from hearing the talk, that it's some bad times for Bobbi Kristina to the point where I think that, they're keeping her on because they are praying that something turns around. They said that Bobbi Brown has had family members in the past that had come out of a coma, and I think they're hoping for the same thing with Bobbi Kristina. It's hard to say because we don't really know how long she was in the water. We don't know what kind of state she was in. We don't know any of that. So I don't even want to keep talking about it because, until they come out and say one thing definitively or the other, it's just a whole bunch of hearsay. Now they're saying that Nick Gordon, the husband, boyfriend / godfather, brother, now they're saying that they have launched an official criminal investigation and seeing if he had anything to do with her, being in the state that she's in. They're saying that there's some injuries to her that are inconsistent with somebody that just kind of passed out in the bathtub. Again, you just don't know. I don't even know if that's true. They're saying that the kid that found her, the one that they were saying that was the drug dealer, he's the one that found her because he opened the door to the bathroom trying to let the cable guy run some wires or something, and then that's when he found her in a tub. He's saying that he had seen Nick Gordon cleaning up some blood earlier in the day. So it's all kind of crazy shit to the story. I don't even know if we'll get the full story, especially if it's a criminal investigation launched. There are going to be some facts that they want to keep to themselves, I'm sure. So yeah, the whole thing is sad. But we don't know anything more this week than we did last week when I talked about it. So that's why I'm saying I don't think I'm going to talk about this anymore until we know for a fact that either she has pulled out and she's okay, or, heaven forbid, that she has gone on, passed on. So, like I said, we'll just say prayers up to the family. Alright, you guys, so that's it. I don't know what happened. I done ran out of energy today. I haven't had any coffee, and I've been trying to cut back on my coffee. So we do this every single week, so make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Until next time, Roxstars. Bye.